Okay, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Marconi Stadium. We are 9.5 minutes away from kick-off of the NPL Men's New South Wales Round 10 fixture.
2017 NPL 2 Minor Premiers and Champion, 2019 Waratah Cup Champion, appointed club captain in 2020, 2024 NPL New South Wales Champion, four-time Tony Henderson's Players Player of the Year, and two-time Ray Richards Player of the Year recipient. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please give Marconi a round of applause.
special day at Marconi Stadium as their captain, Marko Jesic, celebrates game 300 for the Italian club. What is an important night for both sides? Marconi lost a few days ago at Sydney United. What was built up as one of the games of the season, losing 1-0 against the Croatian club. While the SD Raiders, what an interesting month it's been thereabouts. They've had 2 wins on the trot out of March, then the draw to Wollongong last week in East Smith. It's confidence riding high for boys that make their way from League 1 in 25 to the NPL men's in 26. It was the Dark Review. Looking forward to this game. There's so much to talk about. As I said, it's game 300 for Marko Jesic at the club, but also Flea, assistant coach at Marconi, also celebrating 250. So congratulations to all involved, but of course they won't be worrying about congratulating about an achievement unless there is a win at the end of 90 minutes. Let's go through the lineups for Marconi. Joel Wade is the goalkeeper. Number 1, Tyron Burning in 2. Anton Manaric in 4, George Daniel 5, 10 Qual in 6, Franco Meyer 7, Daniel Sakinis 9, Marko Jesic in 10, Mate Busek is in 11, Jack Armson 14, Quinton Blair 23, starting 11 for Marconi. For the SD Raiders, it's William Lucas, the goalkeeper, number 40, Cooper Hannigan in 4, Lachlan Everett 6, James Letta 8, Luka Knezovic in 10, Lachlan McGrath in 12, Noah Chianese in 14, Martin Fernandez 17, Charlie Ragg 18, Riley Cox-Barlow 19, and Sebastian Malfara 21. The starting 11 for the SD Raiders. So it is a local derby, if you want to call it that. The SD Raiders, the new boys in this competition, but of course it's a bit special in some regards because the SD Raiders, which is involved with the association, Southern District Soccer Football Association, which the Marconi Club in junior ranks are an association member. On the ladder, Marconi, they sit in 3rd place. The SD Raiders sit in 14th. If they could get a win against the Goliaths of the NSL and now the NPL, they can get themselves to 11 points and potentially, if results go their way, could be in 10th by the end of the weekend. Time on, we are underway. Rowan Fisher, our referee in charge, and Marconi looking to go forward, but Lucas is at the back to stop things. Good to be here at Marconi Stadium, though it feels like the United Centre in Chicago with the Alan Parsons project being played. Marko Jesic plays it back. Armson, Marko Jesic. Now Armson, a chance already. Oh, what a goal! That is awesome. That is just amazing. The touches between Armson and Jesic, and then Jack Armson puts it in. 1-0 already 30 seconds into the contest. That goal was scored. The music was still blaring when the goal was scored. Armson, he's second in the blue colours in 26, the former Arpia player. What an awesome start. Chianese needs to really get himself in this contest as Hannigan is able to win his side a throw. It's going to be one of the keys today, Chianese. He's forward at the moment. But can you believe that? And the fans were just getting themselves into their seats and seeing what is a masterstroke to begin things in Fairfield. Now the SD Raiders on the attack. Fernandez. Pressured. Maya fell over. Ball goes out. Will be a corner. Don't want to harp on it too much, but that goal, even our camera operator Chester just looked at me going, what? How did that happen? Of course, they've called the foul here just a couple of yards from the goal line. I missed that. I saw the ball go out, but of course there was a foul just near there. So this will be the SD Raiders' chance to counter. McGrath is one man. He's actually walking away from the ball as we speak. Makes his way into the edge of the 6-yard box. Bodies around. Ball is low. Does deflect off Marconi. And now Malfara will have the corner after taking the free kick. So now Malfara. It's Yesic bouncing around defensively for Marconi. Ball clears. Back to Malfara. Works it into the slots. Bounces up. Way couldn't control it. Now a chance from Rag. Spins back. Another effort from Knezovic. Bounces off. And now on a trot is Maya. Tried a half-hearted attempt. But Lucas is back in position. I was going to say, which this is probably pathetic words now, but Lucas actually started the last 3 games. They have had points in all 3. That means nothing now when you're down by 1. Hernandez is on a run. It's cleared by Wade. All of a sudden we can calm down a little bit here at Marconi. Gra works it back to his keeper, Lucas. Now he hoiks it up to halfway. Wall heads it back. Norwich utilising Wade. Bernie heads it down. Maya back to Bernie. First time these two sides have played. The NPL men's New South Wales. Maya. Pressure by Rag was good. Cotsparlow couldn't get the flick on correctly. Yesic is on a run. Rather Sakinis, I should say. It's all happening here. Marconi on the attack. Played away. Knezovic and what he'll be able to offer up today. The ball drops down. Qual will head it. Work by Busick. Ball to Minaric. Defensive half. Has to reverberate it back. Wade. Wow. Game 8 this season for Marconi. Lucas. Chianese. Now McGrath. The best of deliveries by Lucas, but you'll get to it again. Chianese. McGrath works it up the line. Headed down by Cox Barlow. Mention how much of an impact he needs to be as well. The ball bounces in the slot. Is a shot that goes over the bar. Marconi's chance through Cox Barlow ends to naught. Around the grounds in NPL Men's New South Wales tonight, we can tell you we've got a whole host of games. And full-time first between Olympic and Manly. It was Manly 1, Olympic 0. A result that could shake the foundations of the NPL ladder. Sutherland defeated Rockdale 3-1. Well, I'll tell you what, anybody that was bagging out Sutherland a month ago might have egg on their face now. We knew it was going to take some time for them. While 1-1 between University of New South and Apia. That's into injury time, 1-1. Red card for one of the university players. Back here, it's 1-0. Ball goes out, touching Marconi for the corner. It's a very windy night. At Marconi. After a very nice afternoon around Sydney town. What a glorious day it was. Chianese got a flick. It was touched off by Wade. Everett. And now the ball drops back for Knezovic. It's worked into the slot. Again, Marconi looking to flick it up. The header by Monaric. Malfara, jockeying. Malfara, trying to beat the defence of George Daniel. Ball does go out, touching George last. So we're cool, we're calm, we're collected now. The game is sort of, all of a sudden, I've got to say, after that goal, and it only happened 30 seconds in, it's been a pretty tame game in some regards, and SD probably have had more of the attacking chances. They've had the more corners, I can tell you that. Now spinning around is Fernandez. Fernandez tries to slice it in. Maya lobbed it straight to Lucas from the SD Raiders. Hannigan. Now Maya will get on to the end of this. Work the ball forward, spinning around is Busek. Bernie, he's got Jesic on his right. Bernie goes back to Qual. And now it's a chance for the Stallions to reload. Qual on the right, is on halfway. Nice ball on by Busek. Sekenis fires it in. Into the way by McGrath. Now Farah. Now Chianese. Spinning around Chianese. Hannigan. Lobs it down. Cox Barlow couldn't control. Bernie has it from the Blair ball. Blair. Spinning back. Wow. Bernie. Bernie trying to get the cross in. Flicked off Rag. But will touch Marconi last in the spin around. Now the ball goes over halfway. And now Marconi. Need to stop this SD Raiders side who, as I said, despite being down 1-0, with a bit of confidence that they can sit up. Lucas will look to work it over halfway. Game 302 for Marko Jesic if you just joined us. Looking forward to what else he can bring. He already set up a goal. And now maybe, just maybe, he can get himself one, a celebration that won't be forgotten. So now Qual heads it down. Pianese, nice ball. Rag sets it up. Cox Barlow. Great work, Qual. There's now Rag inside. Jesic wins it. Stops back and McGrath had to go back to Lucas. Now it's time for the SD Raiders again. Everett has got possession. It is blowing a gale here at Marconi. Qual heads it. It's going to come down. Didn't get the knock he was looking for. But getting himself in good positions, Damien Sakinis. Damien has really got himself firing over the last couple of years. The development of the young kid has been sensational. Talk about sensational. Here's an opportunity for Cox Barlow, can't get to it. Now it's Chianese, but couldn't find anybody at the far post. Hannigan had the run initially. Time. Stand still for a moment while we wait for this Marconi player. Narich. Anton. So this will be Joel Wade. So full time between the students and Apia, 1-1. And now this is the final game of the evening. Marconi and the SD Raiders. You can watch this on Saturday night NPL Men's New South Wales for all New South Wales on YouTube. Armstrong lobbed the ball up. It's going to drop down for Busek. Busek has a shot. Lucas makes the save. He does push it away, so it will be a corner. Jumping Castle, well actually it's not Jumping Castle, it's actually a mix between it must be like a ball kick through some of the activations for the kids. Just to the right of the broadcast tower at Marconi, the watch tower as we like to call it. So a chance now for the Stallions. Busek. Out of the way. Chianese trying to pressure George Daniel. He lobs it up. Lucas makes the save. So now Rag. Better. Him and McGrath swap sides in the meantime. I think they might switch back around. Yep. Although McGrath didn't want to move away, so they might actually flip for a moment. I just wonder, Marconi have this great knack of not needing to go out of third gear and win games. We saw that against the Wanderers a few weeks ago. It's like they go, you know what, we can put one, and the do not disturb sign goes up. Because now here's an effort. Well, it could have been a double for Armson. Not to be. They're a side that definitely know how to throw the D&D as Everett works it to the right. Mount Thurrock. Yesic was on a run, but it's cut down. Letter and Rag combining. Is now Fernandez. Back to Letta. Lucas. McGrath. It's quite amazing to see this Marconi side live. I haven't had the opportunity for a while to call these players. I watched them last year in that Australian Championship game against Moreton City as Fernandez just couldn't get the target right. And they are, I love watching Marconi play. And they're an amazing side. I've said this on many occasions, and I feel like Marconi, they're a side that they want to prove to everybody how good they are, and they constantly want to be better. And they, if there's a criticism, they will go, okay, right, you give us a bit of a criticism, we'll show you wrong. And they do it so well, Marconi. Some will say they've got, that chip on their shoulder mentality, but I don't agree to that. I almost think for Marconi, that's a great thing, because they want to be the best and they want to show everybody why they are the best. And they're constantly improving, and that's what I think Marconi do so well, is they want to constantly improve. Rag is on a run. Maya is on him. Maya, nice work. The ex-St George City player gets himself defensively in a lovely position. Foul called. He's trying to get up Rag. He will eventually. So Rag just time the boots. He'll get back up. Everett's having a chat with the referee, and Maya's also involved, Franco Maya. Just going to say, you probably noticed with the divot that we just saw on this sideline, grass pitch at Marconi, one of the best pitches going around. Don't see many grass pitches in the NPL Men's New South Wales as much. Sinfo has been the catch cry over the last how many years. Malfara works it to the far post. It's punched away by Wade. Drops back. Knezovic couldn't slot it home. He's going to have another chance. Decided to work it wide. Chianese, and it's flicked up. Header by Sekenis. Reverberates back to Malfara. Knezovic. Cooper Hannigan. Gets it again, Cooper Hannigan. Support on these rights. Comes the way, Minaric. SD Raiders, Chianese was in position, it's headed away. Burning, it was good work. Maya was on a run, but Rag was able to work it back to Everett. Now Chianese, it was on his chest, but he couldn't work it down, but Everett still got it. Spider works it up. And it goes out. Oh, it nearly went out. It was actually stayed in the field of play. I was expecting it to go out, but Rag was able to work it wide. Will touch us off the SD Raiders last. Goal kick to be had. NPL Men's New South Wales 2026. Every game live on YouTube. Replays. Live content of the games. Don't forget, Football New South Wales on YouTube also provides highlights, same as Facebook and NPL Men's New South Wales. Twitter as well, Instagram for those moments that you might have missed on the run. And the stories as well throughout the weekend. We've got our match of the rounds, and our crew do a fantastic job as play continues, but the referee wants to go back to the right blade of grass. The game this year too, with the amount of content that we've seen come through. It's all about giving the game that you love more access. So the moments and the different angles as well. Take you to the game as Everett works it to the right. Wide ball by Knezovic. Stifled by Daniel. Letta will come back for it. Him and McGrath have again swapped sides for the meantime. Hannigan can't control. Blair. Great work by Everett to play it out for a corner. Got himself in the right position. I tell you one thing, it is getting nippy up here in the broadcast box. I'm half tempted, I wouldn't do it, but I'm half tempted to just throw the keys to one of the kids downstairs and go, can you get my jacket from the car? Obviously I'm not going to do that, but half tempted. Corner, fired in. Drops back. Oh, Meyer, if he got that, would have been a sensational goal, but not to be. Lovely evening, though. And the game that's building, I know 25 minutes in, we saw that goal within the first 30 seconds. Jack Armstrong getting the goal. And it's sort of, quieted down a little bit. The SD Raiders, I think, have had a lot of the chances. Marconi, though, last couple of minutes have got themselves in. But like I said before, Marconi are a side that really know how to hold a 1-0 lead, especially when they get the lead early in a game. But I think SD Raiders will be putting the pressure. Fernandez, a rag, he can't control. I've got to say one thing with this, though. You know that Marconi are good to get another goal at any point. Talk about that game on Monday against Sydney United 58. I think, and a lot of people would agree with this, this season I think we're going to be seeing those two teams more than the two times we see in the NPL men's regular season. I think there'll be finals football between those two sides and potentially maybe a grand final if everything works out, or it could be the Australian Championship and we see those two collide again on a big stage. Hannigan. Chat about the Australian Championship again. Fernandez moves it back. Hannigan slices it in. Caught away by Minaric. It's a great tournament last year, great competition. We want to see another big year of the Australian Championship. I said about Marconi and making the grand final last year. Losing to the Victorian teams. It was always a very bad kick in the guts. Let's be brutally honest. When you lose any game to a Victorian team, it's a massive kick in the guts. they'll be better, you would imagine. Losing to South Melbourne 2-0. At Lakeside, actually, that was an Olympic Park. Lakeside was, I think it was an athletics carnival that day from memory. So Sekenas tried to slice it in the middle, didn't quite work, did it? Ball does go out. Marconi supporters making that noise. Great to see the fans there. Young adults and also young children supporting their club. So Rag on the left. Letter. Oh, Malfara lucky he got to it initially. Gets to it again. Beat Blair nicely. Then he's shoved by Blair. Referee allows play to continue. On the deck is Fernandez. Daniel works it. Yesic is on a run. Challenge will go the way of the SD Raiders. Yesic is pleading. We can see he will never give up the fight, will he? Marco Yesic. Will never, ever, ever give anything in, will he? And to be honest, I don't think we ever want to see him give it in, because we love when he goes hard. The conversations are being had at the moment. We will see this set piece. I think Sekenas came in, did he? There's still chats being happened. The free kick for the SD Raiders will eventually happen. I don't think we can say it's not going to happen. 30 minutes into this one. And very intriguing game building up. Hannigan slides down. Malfara gets to it. Malfara has a dipsy doodle. Let's see what the decision's going to be. There's a card given. Rightio. That's the call. It was taken down that challenge. Malfara, Yusek was on him. Now you be the judge about that one. Malfara was making his slicing run. Pusek from behind. Yeah, there is a push. Having a look at the replay. Right, call made. Gnezovic now takes it. Bounces off Marconi. Throw to be taken by Tyrone Burney. Burney looking to work this. Yesic can't get to it. Everett does well. Headed down by Chianese. Burney can't control. It's Fernandez. 2-1 against him. Armson 1 out. Sekenas. Hannigan, good work. Hannigan gave it straight to Blair. Now Busek. Now the ball comes back to Monaric. This is Marconi on the attack. Monaric goes to Wade. Keeper Wade to halfway. And now it's Armson. And Jesic. He's got Sakenis in the middle. McGrath does work. Jesic trying to come back for it. Fernandez with the initial pass. Now they try to slice around, and eventually Knezovic was able to work it on. Fernandez, Chianese, a wide ball, Rag. Nice work by Bernie. Armson. And now the SD Raiders have it on the left. This time it's Rag inside. Malfarra. Cooper Hannigan. Knezovic. McGrath. Chianese back to McGrath. McGrath in the middle, Knezovic. Malfarra. Wide to Hannigan. The SD Raiders looking to make a chess maneuver here on Marconi. This time it doesn't work, and a bit of shepherding going on from Tyrone Burney. On that occasion, the prawn was gobbled up, to use a chess term. Pawn being taken. There's now Qual. Tim Qual back. Bernie. Oh, wait, I don't know about that. Oh, Fernandez. No, it wasn't tipping, but I'll tell you what, if it did, you would be hearing that forever and a day. It would have been glorious, but not the case. But my word, that would have been amazing. Anyway, let's focus in on what happens in the next 10 minutes of regulation time. So Rag, Malfarra, Chianese, Everett on the left. Nice ball on. Touched by Rag, Chianese, Rag, Fernandez. Malfarra from the Everett ball. Hannigan's wide. Chance. Chianese couldn't get to it. Qual, good work. The SD Raiders to take the throw. One 0 Marconi through an Armson goal that Jesic did set up. Jesic playing game 300 for the Stallions. NPL Men's New South Wales action on this Saturday evening. Of course, I should note their first grade games. Obviously, the fact he did play in the NPL 2 days when Marconi were 10 years ago. It was actually 9 years ago. I remember they were in NPL 2, then obviously came up through the ranks. And now, can't do much with it, Blair. Now Maya and Bernie. Qual. Maya. George Daniels on a run. Hannigan will get to it. Marconi again through Armson. Hannigan again. He's kept it in the field of play. Great work, Cooper. That is good. I couldn't believe he did that. Anyway, here come the Raiders once more. This is Fernandez. Fernandez has got support on his left. Decides to cut inside. Chianese wasn't ready for that. They lobbed over him. The Stallions. Through Qual. Marconi heading into this weekend. I did mention before that United game, but they had a very good March. They had that draw against University of New South at the Green, but then had that one against Blacktown, defeated St George and Barton 2-1, and they defeated the Wanderers 1-0. So 3 straight games. They've played a lot of their games away, besides that opening game of the year against Zambia. They have been away from here. The venue going into tip-top shape, and it looks a picture tonight. The ball drops in position for Knezovic. George Daniel. Daniel now down the left. Can't control. Ball will go out. Chianese gets to it. Sakenas. Let's flick off him last. The SD Raiders. Chance for them. Imagine if they can get a goal before the break. Everett have been peppering. Now Rag back. McGrath lobs it forward. Cox Barlow. Qual's on him. In fact, it's Fernandez this time. Cox Barlow's playing more centre. There's Armson. Yesage back to Armson. And Malfara comes back to Lucas. Goes back to Malfara. Now it's McGrath back to Lucas. Lucas. So Fernandez will come back for it. Everett. Qual. Headed by Fernandez again. Marconi's on a roll. A chance here. It's over the bar. Sakenas couldn't slot it home. Couldn't slot it home. And the score remains 1-0 to the Stallions, but maybe they're going to be the next to score. Now Fernandez. Ball's played forward. now Marconi have it through Armson. Armson gives it on. That is great pinball wizardry by Damien Sakinis. 6 goals this season. And learns nicely to utilise the left post. Bounce off it. And it's now 2-0 to Marconi. Nice work. Just impressive. As I said, you think about how this plays out. Just watching the replay. Armson wins it after Busek was taken down the challenge. Works it back inside. Yep, nice work by Damien Sakinis. Stallions up 2-0. And maybe they're going to tame what could have been the SD Raiders' chance to really build up. The free kick for the Raiders. Everett now on halfway. So Armson and Sakinis, the goal scorers for Marconi. Working the 44th minute. McGrath. Lecter is on the right. 1 minute of additional time has been added. That's come up a little bit early, looking at the clock here. Anyway, it has been added. As Jesic was taken down, foul will be called. Unless our clocks are playing up, are we a minute out or we're on time? I don't know why we saw the board go up maybe a minute early. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll see the SD Raiders have to stop Marconi here. Jesic. Controlled by Marconi. Quayle's going to get to it. In the 45th now has elapsed. All lobbed up by Fernandez. Another one by Knezovic. Or by McGrath rather. Knezovic not in position as now is a chance. Busek, can he slide it across? Beats one, has to work it back to somebody. Might have a crack himself. Deviates it on. Oh, the chance going begging by Meyer. SD Raiders scrambling defensively and got there. Now again the Stallions. One more look before the break. Everett clocks it away. Cox Parlo sends it to Chianese. Rags on the left, but Chianese worked it himself. Wade will control. Half time at Marconi. It's 2-0 the Stallions lead. Goal scorers Armson and Sakinis. Can they keep it up, the Stallions, or will it be the SD Raiders? We'll find out shortly on NPL Men's New South Wales. back at Marconi Stadium where One Direction is being played in the background. Feels like it's 2011 all over again. Thinking about my early 20s when this song was being played. Do mind you, I was only in the car, it wasn't anywhere else because I was just going to venues. Welcome to Marconi, second half action about to start. The Stallions lead 2-0. Goal scorers were Sekenis and Armson. The second half is underway. The SD Raiders have had plenty of chances, haven't been able to sink them home yet. So how will this second half play out? That is the million-dollar question. And you would expect, and I think it would be an easy assessment to think that Marconi will ground out the game. As I said before, they're a team that can put the do not disturb signal on and really command ship. George Daniel has it on the left. Should note the substitutions for Marconi. Their benches: Oliver Yates, Cameron Windust, Adam Bugaria, Luca Pecora, Sunday Yona, Demi Petrados and Noah Anderson. SD Raiders, Michael Figuera, who at the start of the year was the main goalkeeper. But that changed midway through. And you've got Marcic, Mabasha, Santarossa, Sapatu, Mako and Bevan. So Marconi with Manaric lobbing it to the sky. Oh no, Farah couldn't get onto the end of that. Could have been nearly a case of Harry McCleary. So G. Daniel throws it in. Jesic can't get to it. Knezovic did well. Bushek couldn't control it. Hannigan played it up. Now it's an opportunity again for Blair to spin around. And now Chianese has it. SD Raiders want something on the counter. It's Cox Barlow. Him and Bernie got into a tangle. Bernie wins the foul for his son. So, the SD Raiders, as I said, this has been an interesting month for them because they finally got their first win after knocking on the door. I'd say knocking on the door because they had that chance just before their first win against Manly. As here's a chance over the bar. Couldn't slot it home, Busek. But I go back to the fact they nearly beat St George when they had chances against City at Penshurst when they lost 4-3. They lost 1-0 to United, and that was kind of one of the turning tides. They lost against Rockdale 2-1 earlier this year too, but realistically, besides that result against Olympic, most of their losses have been games they've been in the hunt most of the way. As now Busek plays it down. Jesic. Jesic back heels. Blair played away by Knezovic. Did touch Marconi last though, the call. As again it will be a throw to be taken by the SD Raiders. At Marconi Stadium at halftime we actually saw some of the Marconi kids on the field. Armson trying to work a ball on, but he won't get to a Busek. It did touch off the SD Raiders last. George Daniel. will take the throw. So now, Hannigan. So now the SD Raiders with Everett working it to his right. Knezovic goes past Ul-A McGrath. Ul-A works it sideways. Everett, the former Shark. Now Knezovic. The ball does dwindle out. Wade doing the right thing. Marconi, they've got a big month coming up for them. So I'll go through this ladder. They play St George City at Penshurst next Saturday. Then on Anzac Day, they've got Manly here at Marconi. And then they've got Sutherland at Seymour Shore. That's a tasty game. Then they play Olympic here. Sydney Olympic had a loss earlier before to Manly, 1-0. And a lot of talk will be, where is Olympic at the moment? It's been a story that has been developing during the course of the year. They are last at the moment on the ladder. Blacktown City are second last, of course. As per the normal now in NPL Men's New South Wales. Obligation, if you're right on the bottom, you're straight down. It's all about what happens in first grade. It's been a long time since the 20s and the 18s are added. I think that was just before COVID when we were still doing that, before we changed our system. And also, 15th place, well, they play in that promotion relegation game against the team that finishes second in League One men's. So, chances Hannigan works it in, headed down by Marconi. Ball does dwindle out, and the call will be a corner. So the corner has been called. So, now Farah to take the corner. A chance for the Stallions to defend the SD Raiders out. Now Farah works it low. Kianese couldn't control. Knezovic couldn't get a touch. Now again, now Farah punched away by Wade. Now the corner. So now, an opportunity for Mal Farah to get an outswinger here. Can the Raiders get one back? 2-0 the score, Marconi lead. Working the 9th minute of the second half. Now Farah low, Kianese. Ball will get to it. Now it goes sideways. Bulsek will get to it. And then it goes back to Sekenis. Yesic is on a run. But Lucas is there. Remember, if he gets a goal today on his 300th, this crowd will go banana. Player back. Actually think about the time that Matt Lewis for Blacktown City in game 300 scored a goal. Flag is up. Tomorrow, NPL Men's New South Wales. Another slate of games that you'll be able to see across the platform. Blacktown City and Wollongong, that's an important game at Blacktown. FC and St George FC. Wanderers will face Spirit at Wanderers, and United and City, the 5 p.m. A couple of good games coming up. And then round 11, Friday, we are not playing, but Saturday SD Raiders and St George FC. Looking forward to that game. And then we slot into University of New South and Wanderers on Saturday as well. Spirit Sydney United Saturday night. St George City and Marconi. That's an interesting game. FC and Blacktown on Sunday. Back here, it's Sekenis. Yesic gets onto the end of it, but then McGrath is able to puncture it down. Got to be mindful of the SD Raiders. Don't want to play it back in your own half too much because they can make you pay. What can they offer up now, the Stallions? You can hear the Busek chants in the background. Wow. Ball comes back to Blair. Norwich and Blair combining. And Armson. And now Sekenis. 3 for Marconi. And the SD Raiders are in Barney rubble. The Stallions put on their clinic, and Sekenis gets a double. The Stallions, as I said, a team that does not need to get out of third gear when they are on song. At the moment, showing that. Crowd going wild. And you think now it could be one of those nights where we might see goal after goal. Something that we have seen in the past. Can Yesic be one to get a goal? Tonight that Marconi will be going, we want to show why we are one of the teams to beat. They'll be smarting after what happened on Monday against United. Chianese works it on. Quayle's able to hit it down. Still a chance! Oh, nearly a goal. Wow. There's questions. Fernandez, did he score? Yes. The linesman has said it's gone in. The linesman says Fernandez has twinkled that one in. Right. So that has been called. I wouldn't mind having another sneaky. Well, I thought it was Fernandez initially. We are waiting on it. I do want to have a look here. Yeah, it is Fernandez. So, just having a look again. Chianese gets a ball. Bounces off Quayle. Yeah, that is just in by the barest of margins. The old line, the boarding house scrape of butter. It doesn't matter now. Sekenis is on a charge. There's a hat-trick looming for him. Squares it back. Everett was able to stop it. Quayle, he's got possession. Again, Busek. Sekenis. Get it down by Letta. And Armson wins the ball. And Armson makes it 2 for himself.
And that's his second goal of the night. At number 13, Jack Armson.
Well, Jack Armson makes it 3 for this season. 4-1. And if you love goals, you've come to the right place. Because we're going to see a few more before the night is out. Oh boy. That is nice. Armson wins the ball back. It wasn't great work by the SD Raiders, was it? There was a header back and then, it was lost. The possession was lost in that situation. And you just think, what is going on? Armson gets his double. And now you wonder if we've got a couple of more goals here. Off letter, and Malfara couldn't control. Armson wins it. Yep. Just having another look at the replay is now Hannigan able to work his way up the line. Chianese. And now Knezovic. He slides himself back. McGrath. Now, Rag, Fernandez. Everett, able to stop that. So the Stallions lead 4-1. Oh. So repeating goal scorers, Sakinis 2, Armson 2, and it was Fernandez who scored that goal for the SD Raiders. So now Hannigan works it back in. It will be yet another throw. There's now Lucas, plays it down. So Lucas again to Mount Farah. Doesn't want to make another error here. Sutherland, reminder, 1-3-1 in what was an epic win. Lucas goes back to the right. Now Letta is able to work it forward. Marconi trying to control it. Letta's got it. Now goes the way of the SD Raiders. Busick. And now Blair. Wow. And he's been dangerous today at times. Ball was worked in. Yesic was the target. They couldn't find him. It was Jamie Puchevsky who was the man that scored the winner for the Sharkies against Rockdale. The old Leader Cup, as they used to call it. I don't know if it's still called the Leader Cup. But a big win too for the Sharks against Rockdale. All right, SD Raiders can't do much with possession. Armson's had a good game today. Milnarich worked it forward. So 63 minutes in. It looks like it might be a night. Marconi will be going. We are the team. We are still the team. Don't worry about that result against United. It was a blimp on the radar. There's now Everett. Now Knezovic. So the Yana chants are happening in the background. Hasn't even arrived yet onto the pitch. It does. I think they'll be hearing more chants.
Substitute SD Raiders number 90, Jakov Malbasa takes the pitch.
Jakov Malbasa.
Number 22, Jonathan Sabatu takes the pitch.
So as Milnarich comes off, for the Marconi Stallions. I think it's Mingus who makes his way on the pitch. Mention Malbasha is on, and also Sapatu. They want Sunday owner. That's what they're saying. Okay. All right. Well, Marcic is on too, I should note. Sunday on a Saturday is what they're yelling. Is now Chianese has an effort that skews to the rights. So they said Malbasha was on the field. Let me just confirm here. I'm trying to work it out here. Looks like he's there. Chianese can still see on the field. So restart to be taken by Wade. Goal kick. It was over the top. Sipatu about to take it. Now it's worked back in to McGrath. McGrath able to work it to his left. Mako on the field now. So they've made a few changes if that's the case against the Raiders. There's a whole host of changes. Yeah, Mako is on. Okay, so this will be outside the 18-yard box. You can hear the fans still on the ground here. Fernandez, the goal scorer for the SD Raiders. 4-1 Marconi. It's been doubles so far. Sekenis and Armson. Here's another on the loom. We're here to find out. Can the SD Raiders jag one back? Okay. Outside the 18-yard box. Gets a touch off the Stallions. Chianese back. Hannigan now. Lobbing it deep. Borsek has got it. Now Sekenis. Sekenis gets a ball. Jesic in pace. He's in space. No! Oh boy, the house would have went down. Oh. If it happens, you'll hear about it. Not at the moment. Marko Jesic. You hear the Stallions chant in the background, which is a great noise tonight. Sepatu works it back. Lukash. Hannigan. He's got Mako, the former Hill United. Lukash. Chianese. Sepatu is on a run. First, it's touched down by Marcic. He's got possession again from Chianese. Marcic back to McGrath. Works it over halfway. While now it's back to the Raiders. So Farah, Hannigan, Rag was on a run. Maya stopped it. Maya again boots it. The challenge that was misconstrued. I think Jesic was involved in that one. The Raiders will be looking to make a couple of changes shortly. They've made a few already. Marconi will also make a few changes too, I should note. Stallions have been very good today. I still don't think we've completely seen them go through fourth gear yet. It's now the Raiders, a chance for them to claw one back. Now, he couldn't get a shot away, Malbasha. Malbasha, a very talented player, Yakov. Mayo on the ground. So the SD Raiders are against the Marconi side that have been on today. Raiders will be looking to continue to at least get some confidence back. Goal would be important. Changes are going to be made for the Stallions. I think we're going to see Sunday on a Saturday is what the fans wanted, and we're going to see it. He's a fan favourite. Bulgaria is also going to come on as well. As now is a chance that couldn't be put away by Maya. Franco Maya can, on his day, slot a few. Again, a scary situation. Lucas played it forward. Now it's played away because he's on the deck here. I think that is Rag. Charlie Rag on the ground. Marconi 4, SD Raiders 1. A double tonight to Armson and Sakinis. The Bullsec chants in the background. Bullsec goes off the field. Anderson's on now as Marko Jesic. He doesn't get his goal tonight, but he did set up one. Game 300. Congratulations, Marko. He's been a great stalwart for the club. A lot of people in the Marconi fan base and family say he's one of the GOATs for the club, and you cannot disagree with that, what he's produced over the last decade or so. A fabulous player, Marko Jesic. Sunday Yona. And now Sakinis. They can't get to it. Hannigan controls. Hannigan. Now Marcic. Rag. Fernandez. And now Marcic. Challenged by Qual. Here come the Raiders. Malfarra. Hannigan. Plays it back. Sipatu. Fernandez works it wide to his left. Rag back. Now Farah taken down by Bulgaria. And now, well, the referee's called it back. He's called it back here. We can settle down. He's called it back. I want to bring something up while we do wait to see this free kick for the SD Raiders. Look at Sib Hartu's jersey. Look at everybody else's. The sponsor on top of the number is bigger on his than the other players. I've just noticed. Anyway. Mako cuts forward, taking down the challenge. Chianese able to work it on. Marcic. Chianese back. Left foot. Does deviate off Rag. That font is definitely bigger. I noticed that and thinking, no, that's not a name on the back, it's a sponsor. It's Hannigan in his possession. And I was thinking, oh, maybe the other players have got names on their back. No, the sponsors are small on the back. Anyway, back to the game. Yono was calling for it. Henderson went forward. It's the Raiders looking for something here. Oh boy, might be injured here, Marcic. Now Sunday Yono tries to slung him his way in, but can't. Now the Raiders have a chance again. This time McGrath. Basha didn't quite control it. He is limping still here. Marcic. Keep an eye on Marcic. It's not overly flash. There's now Rag. Tucks it back in. Go out actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official attendance tally for tonight is a 1,031. Please give yourselves a round of applause for attending the Palace for this big match between Marconi and the SD Raiders.
Yeah, good crowd tonight. All things considered, you've got to remember the derby's on tonight, so that might lose a few people, maybe. But still, great crowd tonight. Is now Sunday owner. Oh, Sebhatu tried the boot of the way. He did get a touch, but it comes back for his keeper, Lukash. Now, it's a chance for the Raiders to reload once again. But good crowd tonight, and good to see fans supporting their Marconi Stallions. It's now Raiders don't control their Malbasha. Bernie ships it forward. Henderson wants to get to it, he can't. And now it's Chianese. Hannigan looking to work it to the right. Hard to. And stopped off by Qual. Sunday Yona's the target. I should say, Sabhatu's the man who gets to it. Batu. Let's go back to Marcic. And now Hannigan. Cooper Hannigan is able to work it to the left. 12 minutes remaining for the Stallions and the SD Raiders tonight. Wind dust allows it to go back to Wayne. Marconi on the live ladder now. Where do they sit? I'll tell you where they sit. They are now in third place. Point behind Apia. There's now Anderson. Ball drops back. Couldn't get a shot away. Bulgaria. Time scored to a halt from the meantime. Captain's armband on wind dust, I think you'll find. After Yesic did come off the field. So now the ball drops back to George Daniel. George Daniel able to play it for Wade, who goes for a bit of a run. Sunday Yona can't get to him. Way back from Sepatu. Raiders will have to learn from this game tonight so much as Bugaria works it to his left. Sunday Yona. Yona chips it. Yona gets one. A Sunday special on a Saturday night at the Palace. Sunday Yona gets one. And the Stallions make it 5-1. Akadaka blares around the venue. And the Stallions are having a party. So if you are a fan of Marconi, you'll be happy tonight, but know that there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of water to go under the bridge this season, as has been stated by many people. NPL Men's New South Wales, one of the longest competitions, 30 weeks regular season, then finals. There's now Sepatu, cuts it back inside. Marcic can't get the shot away. So Marconi now, 22 points, third place. This is a night that they'll be happy with. The fact that Apia probably gave 2 points away in that draw against University. And what it does now, they're only a point behind Marconi from Apia. And that also puts them, with this win today, 4 points out of Rockdale after they lost their encounter against Sutherland. Sharks, by the way, in 7th. Can you believe that? They're just outside the 6. Sutherland, 3 wins from their past 5 matches. I know that David Perkovic will be happy with that. Now Farah punched away by Wade. The Stallions, as I mentioned before, lost last start, but they had 3 wins prior. A blip on the radar. That United game will be in their eyes, but you also sensed coming here that Marconi would want to make a statement after what happened. Tell you one thing, I reckon there's one more goal in this. Maybe it's Sunday Yona for a double. To my draws wrong saying Marko Jesic will score at some point because he's off the field. Game 300, you sort of pinch yourself hoping it's going to happen. I said Matthew Lewis did it back in 2020 against Manly for City before COVID actually hit. Fantastic to see the SD Raiders, though, still giving a chance for them to claw a goal back. You've got the feeling it's likely not to happen. Yeah, Pachados gets his first bench start this season after being a non-starting sub for 5 games. Very important to note. Ground announcer tonight, Kean Kramer. Great man. Sepatu down the line. He was able to find Marcic. And now Bevan, the former Wolf. So, what have we learnt from this game tonight. I think we pretty much learnt that Marconi was going to make this game a statement, which we probably knew. And the SD Raiders probably that they just need to find that weapon against the bigger sides. And that's the big problem, I guess. They've had so many chances in this game. You cannot write out the fact they've had so many chances, but they just haven't been able to put them away. So, look, I think we probably knew some of that stuff, but maybe it's been reiterated today in this game. As now it's Marco who works it across. Now Barca will be calling for the ball here. Farah decided to go down. You can see Mabasha is in the middle here. Now the ball by Rag. It does bounce to the other side. I was mentioning Maubasa's name. It's in my head. Mount Farah was the man working it down, but I was watching Maubasa. He was calling for the ball. He does want a touch or two this season. He's scored 2 goals for the SD Raiders. Reminder, the results tonight, and it's quite an important night on the NPL Men's New South Wales ladder, because Rockdale, they lost to Sutherland 3-1 at Seymour Shore. There's now Anderson's calling for it here. Well, she bypasses Anderson. Yona won't get to it. So 3-1 to Sutherland. Olympic lost to Manly 1-0. And Apia and University of New South a 1-1 draw. That's what's happened tonight in NPL Men's New South Wales. 4 games tomorrow to keep your eye on. NPL Men's New South Wales on YouTube via Football New South Wales. Every game live of NPL Men's and NPL Women's, plus the match of the round League 1 Men's and Women's. So now he's on a run again. He's not going to get to it. Zakenis, he does eventually. Lukash makes an error. The main thing is they don't write how you score a hat-trick in the report card. They just say you've got the hat-trick. It might not be a memorable goal, but a hat-trick is a hat-trick. Damien Zakenis, come on down. (6-1). And thunder has been blaring tonight. The Stallions. Lukash makes the error. A disappointing moment that was. What do you say? I don't know if there's any more words to add from what we've said about Marconi today. There's now the foul called. Just watching the replay again, I wasn't thinking that Zakenis was going to beat Lukash. Just watching here, Lukash makes the error, plays it straight to Zakenis. As now, it will be Mal Farah to take the set piece. Mal Farah's ball deviates back to Kinganese, couldn't get the shot away. So the SD Raiders still peppering to see if they can claw one back. Next time these two sides play will be at Ernie Smith against each other. Looking forward to the next time these two sides meet. That's going to be round 25. It's, oh no. Well, Sepatu made the challenge. He's on the deck here. Zakenis. The flag was up. He's on the ground in pain. So you'll get back up. Should be okay, Damien Sekinis. About to see the board show 3 minutes. Time added on. Minimum of 3 minutes. So Marconi winning 6-1, but you can see. Sorry, I've got to laugh at this. The fourth, he's put it upside down. He's put the board upside down. Sorry, it makes me laugh. SD Raiders got a chance here. Ball drops back. Nabasha won't get to it. It will be picked up by Marconi. Ball now goes to Petrados. Demi. Sorry. I apologise. I shouldn't laugh over that. It's a minor thing, but it just made me laugh. Sandayona won't get to it. Savatu heads it down. And now it comes back to George Daniel. George Daniel lobbing it forward. Didn't get to it, Sandayona, but you can hear the fans in the background. Sekinis wants to be large in this game. He has indeed. Wants to talk heading into this game. How's he going to go? Hat-trick today for him. Bugaria, is he going to get to this? He is calling for it, but Bernie's running it up. Well, I was just watching Bugaria stopping and starting. Now he's trying to get to the ball. Rag. Couldn't get to it. Bernie now has possession. Yellow card given as well. Anderson back. Bernie. Anderson. Turned over. Anderson taking down the challenge. Oh no. Shirt pull there. McGrath's not happy. They come in to settle down. They come in to settle down. It does settle. There we go, 2 OTT. Time ticking at Marconi. Close to the end of this one. The Stallions will get the 3 points. Another goal would be awesome. Could see Sekinis lurking around. I also see Petrados in the middle. Same as Qual. Who's the target? Bugaria works it in. It hits off SD. Whistle blows for a victory for Marconi. 6-1. And Marconi say, we may have had a loss last week, but let's forget about it and move on. And that's what they did. They moved on. 3 points goes their way. And SD Raiders now have to go back to the drawing board. Marconi next week take on St George City at Penshurst Park. And then the SD Raiders, they make their way back home to Ernie Smith for the encounter against St George FC. Looking forward to bringing you that game on Saturday evening, NPL men's. Results tonight, well, as I said, there is some big important results. Sutherland 3, Rockdale 1, Olympic lost to Manly 1-0, and University of New South Wales 1, Apia 1. Here, 6-1, Sekinis, he scored 3 goals, Sandayona 1 goal, and a brace to Jack Armson. For the SD Raiders, the 1 goal was scored by Marty Fernandez. In relation to tomorrow, Blacktown play Wollongong at 3 p.m. FC and St George FC at the same time. That's Sydney FC and St George. Wanderers and Spirit at 3 p.m. and United and St George City at 5 p.m. Regarding the ladder, after what has been an interesting day. In match week 10, United lead with a game up their sleeve on 27 points. Harpia on 23 in second. Marconi third on 22. Rockdale fourth on 18. St George FC on 16. Important game for them. If they win tomorrow, they'll be ahead of Rockdale. Need to snap that losing streak. To mind you, Spirit, they've got a chance as well. They're on 16 points. Sutherland outside the 6 on 15. Wollongong on 14. Wanderers on 12. Sydney FC on 10. University of New South on 9. St George City on 9. Manly 9. SD 8. Blacktown 5. Olympic 4. That's the ladder after midway through round 10. Hope you've enjoyed the action on NPL Men's New South Wales Action on Football New South Wales on YouTube. Good evening from Marconi, where the Stallions for 2 good. 6-1, Nicholas Gutniak signing off. We'll see you at a football pitch near you. Bye for now.